All right, cricket fans, buckle up. Get ready for a deep dive into a team that's been making some serious noise in the cricket world, the Punjab Kings.
Oh, yeah, they've definitely been shaking things
We're
up.
talking Indian Premier League, the IPL folks. You know, that 2020 cricket tournament that has everyone on the edge of their seats.
It's electric. The energy, the passion, it's unlike anything else in cricket.
You know, it's interesting. The Kings have actually never won the IPL.
You're kidding. They've been around since the beginning, right? One of the founding team.
Exactly. They made it to the finals once, back in 2014, but the trophy has always eluded them.
So the big question is, could this be their year? Is this the year they finally break through?
Well, the Times of India seems to think they've got a real shot. They did a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats of the Punjab Kings for the 2025 season.
A SWOT analysis, huh? That's pretty thorough.
And it was published just a couple of days ago on March 18th, so it's fresh off the press.
Okay, so we're working with the latest intel. I like it.
So let's unpack this SWOT analysis and see if the Kings are truly contenders this year.
Yeah, let's dive in. I'm curious to see what they've come up with.
But first, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room, the massive overhaul they had in the offseason. They brought in Shreyas Iyer as their new captain, and let me tell you, they didn't hold back on the paycheck, a cool R's 26.75 crore.
Whoa, that's a serious investment. They're clearly putting their money where their mouth is.
It's a statement signing, that's for sure. Iyer's a proven leader. He captained the Kolkata Knight Riders to a title just last season.
Oh, yeah, he knows how to win. He's got that championship pedigree.
And the Kings went all in on this rebuild. They only retained 2 players from last year's squad.
Wow, talk about hitting the reset button. They're wiping the slate clean and starting fresh.
It's a bold move, no doubt. But is it the right move? Let's dive into that SWOT analysis and find out.
All right, let's see what their strengths are. Where do they excel?
Starting with the strengths, the Times of India highlights their balanced batting lineup.
Balanced, huh? But I'm looking at this roster, and it's not just balanced, it's stacked with power hitters.
You're absolutely right. The return of Glenn Maxwell is huge. This guy's a game changer. Remember that time he smashed 145 runs off just 65 balls?
Are you kidding me? That's insane. The man is a walking highlight reel.
He can turn a match on its head in and over. And then they've added Josh Inglis to the mix, the Australian wicketkeeper batsman. He brings a lot of flexibility to the batting order.
I like the sound of that. Flexibility is key in T20 cricket. You need to be able to adapt to any situation.
They're not just looking for big hits. They're building a lineup that can adapt to any situation.
So it's not just about brute force, it's about strategy as well.
It's like they're assembling a puzzle, making sure they have all the pieces to complete the picture.
A puzzle, huh? I like that analogy. But it's not just about the batting, is it? They've got a bowling attack that's making people nervous.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. They've got Arshdeep Singh leading the pace attack, and he's been on fire lately. He swings the ball both ways, making him a nightmare for batsmen.
Oh, I hate facing those kinds of bowlers. You never know which way the ball's going to go.
And then you add the raw pace of Lockie Ferguson, who consistently bowls over 150 kilometers per hour. I mean, imagine trying to hit a supersonic tennis ball.
That's terrifying. I wouldn't want to be in the batsman's shoes facing those guys.
And then there's the spin department. They've got Yuzvendra Chahal, a veteran leg spinner. He's a master of deception. He's got more tricks up his sleeve than a magician.
Chahal's a legend. He's been bamboozling batsmen for years.
And they've got depth, too. All-rounders like Marco Jansen and Marcus Stoinis. They can contribute with both bat and ball, giving the Kings a lot of tactical flexibility.
See, that's what I'm talking about, depth. It's so important in a long tournament like the IPL.
You're saying they've addressed a key weakness they've had in the past, a lack of all-round depth.
Exactly. They've plugged those holes and built a more well-rounded squad.
But I'm looking at this squad, and I still see a lot riding on Maxwell and Jansen. What happens if one of them gets injured? What makes you so confident about their backup options?
Well, it's true that Maxwell and Jansen are key players, but the Kings have been strategic in building this squad. They've got Asmatullah Omarzai. He's a young all-rounder who's been making a name for himself in domestic cricket.
Okay, so they've got some young blood with potential waiting in the wings.
Exactly. And let's not forget Shashank Singh. He's a more than capable batsman and can chip in with a few overs as well.
Okay, I see what you mean. They've got options, which is crucial in a long tournament like the IPL.
You need to have those backup plans in place. You never know when you might need them.
But no team is perfect, right?
No, of course not. Every team has its weaknesses.
Let's talk about some potential weaknesses highlighted in the Times of India article.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are some areas of concern?
One area of concern is their top-order batting, particularly the Indian contingent. They're a bit inexperienced, which could be a problem against strong bowling attacks.
Yeah, inexperience can be a liability in a high-pressure tournament like the IPL.
The IPL is a high-pressure environment, and facing world-class bowlers can be daunting for young players.
It's a whole different ballgame when you're up against the best in the world.
Early wickets can put a team on the back foot, especially in a format as fast-paced as T20. So yes, their top-order inexperience could be a vulnerability.
It's definitely something they'll need to address if they want to go deep in the tournament.
And there's that heavy reliance on overseas all-rounders, especially Maxwell and Jansen, to deliver the goods. We talked about backup options, but let's be honest, losing either of those guys would be a major blow.
Oh, no doubt about it. They're the heart of this team, the ones who can swing the momentum in an instant.
If they get injured, it could expose a lack of depth.
And put a lot of pressure on the younger players to step up.
So we've got a team with a potentially explosive batting lineup, but a few question marks at the top, and a bowling attack that seems capable of dismantling any opponent.
Sounds like a recipe for excitement. Lots of potential, but also some areas of concern.
But what about the opportunities that await the Punjab Kings this season?
All right, let's shift gears and talk about the positives. What are some things that could work in their favor? Welcome back to our deep dive into the Punjab Kings.
We've broken down their strengths and weaknesses,
Yeah,
analyzed their star-studded lineup,
right.
and even touched upon those big looming threats.
Mm-hmm.
But as we hinted at the end of part one, there's a whole other layer to this story.
Oh, yeah.
It's the mental game.
You're absolutely right. The Times of India article, while insightful, focuses primarily on the tangible aspects. The players, the statistics, the strategies. But what often separates the champions from the rest
Yeah.
is their mental toughness, that ability to not just handle pressure, but to thrive under it.
It's like they say, cricket is 90% mental and the other half is physical.
Right. Well, maybe not quite 90%.
Yeah.
But you get the point. Mental strength is absolutely crucial, especially in a high-stakes environment like the IPL. Think about those nail-biting finishes, those crucial moments when the game's on the line. That's when the mental game takes center stage.
So let's break it down. What are some of the key psychological factors that could impact the Punjab Kings' performance this season? We've got a new captain, a totally revamped squad. There's a lot to unpack here.
Well, the leadership factor is huge.
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer, their new captain, comes in with a winning pedigree. He's lifted the trophy before.
Right.
But this is a new team, a new dynamic.
Yeah.
His leadership style will be put to the test.
Yeah.
Can he inspire confidence? Can he make those tough decisions when the pressure's on?
I'm imagining him in the huddle during a timeout. Can he rally the troops? Can he get everyone on the same page and believing in themselves? It's not just about tactics at that point. It's about leadership.
Exactly. And it's not just about what happens on the field. It's about the team culture he creates. It's about fostering that sense of belief, building a winning mentality that permeates the entire squad.
It's like you can have the best players in the world, but if they're not playing for each other, if they don't have that shared sense of purpose, it's all for nothing.
Think about it this way. When things go wrong, when the pressure mounts, it's that team spirit that gets you through. It's that belief in each other, that camaraderie that helps you overcome adversity.
So how do you build that? Is it something that just happens organically, or does it require a conscious effort? I mean, these guys are all professionals. They're all competing for spots, for glory. How do you get them to put their egos aside and truly become a team?
It's a bit of both. Sometimes you get lucky and the players just click. But more often than not, it takes work. It takes leadership from the captain, from the coaching staff, to create an environment where players feel valued, supported, and connected.
So it's about more than just wins and losses. It's about creating a culture of trust and respect. I'm thinking team bonding activities, open communication, all those things that contribute to a positive team environment.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the fans. The Punjab Kings have a passionate fan base. That energy, that support from the stands can be a huge boost for the players, especially when they're facing tough opponents.
It's like having that 12th man on the field, that extra surge of energy when you need it most.
Exactly. But on the flip side, there's also the pressure of expectations. The Punjab Kings have never won an IPL title. The fans are hungry for success. That can weigh heavily on the players.
Especially for a team that's been labeled as underachievers in the past. They'll need to find a way to manage that pressure, to use it as fuel rather than letting it consume them.
It's about finding that balance. You need that hunger, that desire to win, but you can't let the pressure cripple you. Otherwise, it leads to mistakes, to self-doubt, to a loss of focus.
So how do you deal with that kind of pressure? I mean, we're talking about playing in front of millions of people with the hopes of an entire region resting on your shoulders. How do you stay calm and focused in those moments?
It comes down to mental resilience.
Uh-huh.
The ability to stay grounded, to bounce back from setbacks, to stay focused when everything around you feels chaotic.
Yeah.
And that's a skill that can be developed through practice, through experience, through mental conditioning.
So it's like training your mind just as you train your body.
Yeah.
I'm thinking visualization techniques, mindfulness, positive self-talk, those kinds of tools that athletes use to stay mentally sharp.
Exactly. And the coaching staff plays a crucial role here. They need to support the players mentally and emotionally, not just tactically, help them develop coping mechanisms, provide guidance and encouragement, and just be there for them when things get tough.
It's like they're not just coaches, they're mentors,
Right.
almost like sports psychologists in a way.
Right.
They need to understand the mental side of the game just as well as they understand the physical side.
You're absolutely right. And we haven't even touched on the individual personalities within the team.
Right?
Every player is different. They have
Yeah.
different strengths, different weaknesses, different ways of handling pressure. It's crucial for the captain and the coaching staff to recognize those individual dynamics.
So it's like a giant puzzle, and they're trying to fit all these different personalities together to create a cohesive unit. Some
Yeah.
players need a pat on the back, others need a kick in the pants. Figuring out what makes each player tick, that's got to be a challenge.
Absolutely. It's about creating an environment where players feel comfortable being themselves, where they can express their individuality without fear of judgment.
Because ultimately, a team is only as strong as its weakest link. If one player is struggling mentally, it can have a ripple effect on the whole team.
Precisely. That's why it's so important to have that strong support system in place, both within the team and from the coaching staff. Players need to know they have people they can talk to, people who understand what they're going through, people who can help them navigate the challenges of playing in a high-pressure tournament like the IPL.
It's amazing how much goes on behind the scenes, all the mental and emotional factors that contribute to a team's success. We see the players on the field, but we don't always see the mental battles they're fighting.
And for the Punjab Kings, with a new captain, a revamped squad, and the weight of expectations on their shoulders, their mental fortitude will be put to the test this season. But as we've discussed, there are things they can do to prepare themselves mentally, to build that resilience, to create a winning mindset.
It's like laying the foundation for success. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have that mental strength, that ability to handle pressure, it's all for nothing.
And if they can master that mental game, if they can channel the pressure into positive energy, if they can come together as a cohesive unit, they have the potential to achieve something truly special this season.
So we've explored the psychological landscape of the Punjab Kings, the mental factors that could make or break their season. But let's not forget about the game itself, the tactical battles that will unfold on the field.
That's right. In part 3 of our deep dive, we'll analyze the Punjab Kings' strengths and weaknesses from a strategic perspective. We'll delve into their batting order, their bowling attack, their overall game plan, and how they match up against their opponents.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the final part of our deep dive into the Punjab Kings.
And we're diving right into the tactical side of things.
We've covered a lot of ground in parts 1 and 2, from their revamped squad and those star players, to the often overlooked aspects of leadership, team chemistry, and the mental game.
We've explored the hearts and minds of the Kings, but now it's time to analyze their brains, their tactical approach to the game.
I like that, putting on our strategist hats.
It's exactly.
And dissecting the Punjab Kings' game plan for this IPL season. The Times of India article gave us some clues about their potential lineup and their overall strategy. So let's start with that batting order. They've got a mix of explosive power and strategic finesse. But how will they utilize these weapons effectively?
Well, their predicted best axine features Prabhsimran Singh and Priyansh Arya as openers.
Right.
Prabhsimran is a known quantity solid batsman who can set the tempo.
Yeah.
But Priyansh, he's a bit of a wild card. He's relatively inexperienced at this level.
So they're taking a bit of a gamble, putting a young, unproven player in such a crucial role.
Right.
What's the thinking behind that?
Well, it's a high-risk, high-reward strategy. If Priyansh clicks, if he can handle the pressure and provide those explosive starts, it could be a game changer. But if he struggles, it could put a lot of pressure on the middle order.
It's like they're rolling the dice and hoping for a lucky 7.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
But it also shows they're not afraid to invest in young talent, building for the future.
It's a long-term vision. Okay, so let's say Priyansh delivers, and those opening overs are a fireworks show. Then comes the anchor, the backbone of their batting. Captain Shreyas Iyer at number 3.
Ah, Shreyas. He's the glue that holds it all together. A proven performer in the IPL, capable of adapting to any situation.
Yeah, he's got a cool head under pressure.
Right.
A very important quality for a captain.
Absolutely. He can stabilize the innings if the openers fall early, or accelerate the scoring if they get off to a flyer. He's the steady hand this team needs in the middle.
And at number 4, we've got Shashank Singh. He's been given a vote of confidence by the management, being one of the only 2 retained players. What's his role in this batting lineup?
He's Mr. Dependable, the rock in the storm.
Right, the anchor.
He's not going to win you matches with those massive sixes, but he's going to rotate the strike, build partnerships, keep the scoreboard ticking over. He's the guy you need to lay the foundation for those big hitters to come in and finish the job.
And speaking of big hitters, get ready for the fireworks. At number 6, it's Glenn Maxwell. The big show is back. And at number 7, Marco Jansen.
Oh, yeah.
Those 2 are box office players.
Now you're talking. These guys are the game changers. Maxwell's return is huge for the Kings. He's an entertainer, a match winner.
They broke the bank to get him back on the squad.
And Jansen, he's no slouch either. He can clear the boundaries with ease, those towering sixes that get the crowd on their feet.
So the batting lineup looks pretty potent, but as
Yep.
they say, T20 is a batsman's game. What about the bowlers? Can they keep those opposition batsmen in check?
Now this is where the Punjab Kings really shine. They've assembled a bowling attack that's capable of dismantling any batting lineup in the world. Leading the charge is Arshdeep Singh. He's been in phenomenal form, swinging the ball both ways, making life miserable for batsmen.
He's their go-to man in those crucial power play overs. And for those who aren't familiar, the power play is the first 6 overs of a T20 innings, where there are restrictions on where fielders can be placed. Taking wickets during this phase can really put a dent in the opposition's plans.
Absolutely. Early wickets are gold dust in T20 cricket.
Yeah.
And then you've got Lockie Ferguson coming in with his express pace.
Right, he's a speed demon.
He can consistently bowl over 150 kilometers per hour. That's like trying to hit a car hurtling towards you.
And to round out this formidable attack, they've got the wily leg spinner, Yuzvendra Chahal.
Chahal is a master of deception. He's got so many variations up his sleeve. He can bamboozle even the best batsman in the world.
Right, he's like a magician with the ball.
Exactly. He's the perfect foil to those fast bowlers, slowing down the run rate and picking up crucial wickets in the middle overs.
So they've got pace, they've got swing, they've got spin. It's a balanced attack with a variety of weapons to choose from. But there's one more crucial element we need to consider. Their fielding.
Ah, yes, fielding. It's often the difference between winning and losing in T20.
Right, you can't underestimate the importance of fielding,
A dropped catch or a misfield can shift the momentum of the game in an instant.
especially in those crucial moments, those turning points in a match.
And in a tournament as tight as the IPL, every run saved, every opportunity taken can be the deciding factor.
Absolutely, those small margins can make all the difference.
The Punjab Kings have a relatively young and athletic fielding unit. They've got some exceptional fielders, guys who can pull off those spectacular catches and save crucial runs. But they need to be consistent. They can't afford to give away easy runs or miss those game-changing opportunities.
So it's all about being sharp, being alert, being aggressive in the field. They need to bring that same intensity they show with the bat and ball to their fielding as well.
Yeah, they need to be firing on all cylinders.
All right, so we've analyzed their strengths, dissected their weaknesses, and explored their tactical approach to the game. But ultimately, cricket, like life, is a game of glorious uncertainties.
It's a game of moments, of individual brilliance, of collective effort, and that's what makes it so captivating.
You never know what's going to happen until that first ball is bowled.
The Punjab Kings have the potential, they have the desire, they have the support of millions of fans.
It's all there for the taking. So will this be the year they finally silence the doubters and lift that coveted IPL trophy? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride.
Well, that's a wrap for our deep dive into the Punjab Kings. We hope you enjoyed this journey exploring the intricacies of this fascinating team and the exciting world of the IPL.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that passion for the game alive.
And as always, thanks for listening.